Hello everyone and welcome back to DCS World and Enigma's Cold War server, where we're back today with another Docs Debriefs, these episodes where I look through an interesting flyout I had, see what I did well, what I did badly, what I can improve on. This time the map was on Caucasus, so I took out the Farmer and provided some top cover for Marknow and Flame, who were flying out in Su-25s. Had a really fun sortie with just constant engagements. So let's get into it. So here we are just a little bit after taking off. I see a possible F5 out at sea that I turn towards. See multiple planes in the same area. Realise this one here is definitely an F5, so try and turn in on him. It's getting very close to the Su-25s on the escorting. I fired a Fox 2, really didn't track at all. The Farmer doesn't have the best Fox 2s, it's got OK ones, gotta treat them like AIM 9Bs. Here he's coming into an Su-25, this isn't one of the ones I'm escorting. I fire a bit of a desperate Su-25, mostly just try to save the 25 off my nose. So fire a Fox 2. He's then going high, he's definitely seen me at this point. Well, I'm still quite happy to have managed to distract him enough to get him off the guy's tail. That was Marknow's Fox 2 streak coming in there, but this guy's just turning too hard. Trying to dive in on him here. At least I'm keeping the pressure on him so he's not going after our ground attackers. Make a snapshot, nowhere near enough lead there. Then managed to overshoot a little bit. This guy now has a really good position on me. But thankfully the Farmer can turn, and can turn really well. So just go into rolling scissors with the guy, which I'm more than happy about. Nicely managed to reverse it, fire off guns into this guy's flight path, and he flies straight into it. And really only takes one hit with these Farmer's guns, and that is the F5 down. As you can see here, he's just coming across my path. I put in bullets just into his way and get a nice hit there. This is the view that Marknow sent through. You can see there, nicely got the splash. So happy with that. I'm not great with the Farmer's guns, so always happy to get a decent hit. Short while later we have some more coming in, so I'm just trying to keep the fight away from the Su-25 so they can do their job on the front. Do you see that this F5 is on a Mirage? I do give a call on SRS just to alert the Mirage. Don't know if the Mirage is on SRS or not. Mirage doesn't seem to react, but once again the F5 sees me and turns to engage. So again, I'm quite happy with this, trying to get him off of friendlies, so if he comes away from friendlies, I'm all happy. Done my job as an escort, just distracting the enemy. Don't have to get the kill, just have to keep the enemy cap distracted here. But of course I want to get the kill, so go in on him. There is a friendly Mig-19 here with me, so this guy's in a lot of trouble now. Just not enough lead there. I do overshoot, so go high to try and conserve energy and avoid getting too far ahead of him. Just there I can see him dumping his tanks, so up until then he still had it, which would be putting him at a rather substantial disadvantage. I should have done better here, but I did see the tracers coming in, so stayed a little bit low to keep out of my friend's way. Do you see him heading towards, that is Marknow here, who is flaring, I believe, so do give him a warning, but the F5 immediately breaks off. He realises he's got more to deal with than the Frogfeet. So trying to pull around now, and once again managed to get a really nice, really high aspect shot there, just putting bullets into his path and letting him fly into them. So there we go. Missiles did not do me well that sortie, but guns definitely did. At that point I am pretty much all out of ammo, so just RTB. A little bit of a rough landing, but not too bad. I'm still practicing landing the 19. Then rearm, refuel, take off again. By the time I get back to the front, there's already enemies everywhere once again. This is on the narrower Caucasus map, and so this is the kind of choke point where the entire map is only one hexagon wide. This was a busy server, I think it was full around this point. So you've got 60 players all in one hexagon. It gets really, really hectic. It can be really, really fun, as this session's showing, but it does mean you just don't get a break. Right, trying to stay on this pair here. You can see Mig-21's going high there, and then a plane just explodes in front of me. This is third person trying to work out what went wrong. I think a plane was trying to get guns on, he just ripped his wing. I don't think I can claim that as a maneuver kill, because I had no idea he existed before he exploded, but fair enough. Now here I really mess up. I was in a really good position to do another one of those very high aspect shots, but I'd forgot to rearm. On the Farmer you have to rearm the guns after reloading, and so I had forgotten to do that, so guns didn't fire. I may be saying some rather less than nice words right now over Discord, just to myself, but there we go, one of the other planes comes in, gets the kills, so all worked out well in the end. Now, this is just a couple minutes later. As I said, really don't get much of a break here. Realised that I have a 6 that is rapidly closing. This F5 is trying to pull on me. Again, nice thing about the Farmer is I know I can outturn these if I don't do anything too silly. They can't quite turn the way they used to before the last flight model update. They still can outturn an F5 quite happily. They can certainly outroll an F5. Just have to watch it a little bit. If you pull too much AOA, the plane does not like it. Here I do make a mistake. I was trying to roll over and expected the guy to continue his manoeuvre, but he changed his flight path. I lost eyes on him. Reacquire him by seeing him coming up right behind me. Thankfully I do have friendlies in the area. Got this Farmer here and a Mirage. Fortunately he does have a lot of friendlies too. This is getting quite a hectic situation here. End up getting confused, end up on the tail of a Mirage, which is not what I wanted. See multiple planes there trying to work out who is an enemy, and then this F5 cuts in front of me, so fair enough, dive in on them. Now I do have the opportunity here to fire a Fox 2, but don't want to because I've got 2 friendlies ahead, both in afterburners. Do not trust the Fox 2s enough to fire in that situation. So I hold off on it, instead of going high. Now I don't have the aspect. I get a decent centre of body hit there. You can see I've clipped off his right hand horizontal stabiliser. I do make a mistake there. I fly right in front of him after that turn. If he had been a little bit quicker, he could have ended the fight right then and there. I think I may have just been saved by him needing to go through the F5's little animation of opening up the gun ports. So I went from being aggressive to being defensive very quickly. But thankfully he's lost his stomach for the fight here. Without a horizontal stabilizer he is struggling, so he tries to disengage. And luckily for me, he's not really watching his 6 while he's disengaging. It gives me a chance to fire a Fox 2. Then as soon as I fire, I check my 6 because I know there are loads of enemies around. But there we go. Nice and easy in the end. Damaged him with guns, finished him off with the Fox 2. Then again, this is just a couple minutes later after I get my bearings. Can see all of those enemy and friendly aircraft. Just a massive dogfight here. Really, really cool to watch, really atmospheric with the evening lighting as well. It was a really, really fun session. Here I'm just trying to pick a target and turn in. Initially pick this F5. He cuts in very fast and low. Try and get my nose up to him, but it's just not quite making it. He's then turning and starting to dive. I'm just trying to keep up the turn here. So unfortunately, various targets going down. He's turning too sharply at this point for a Sidewinder to reliably hit. But then he straightens out here. It is close to the sun, but he doesn't quite go directly into the sun. And it's just enough for me to get a missile off. So there we go. 4th kill of the evening. Nice clean hit. Just always an issue if you're extending, you really have to check your 6, or at least pre-flare as you do, because it just makes you too much of an easy target. Especially on Caucasus, where people are desperately looking for people flying in a straight line. Whenever you are in a straight line, you can kind of expect there to be a missile coming towards you. And I decide to go in on the Vigan here initially, just because he's a nice, big, slow target. He has bled off a lot of speed trying to be in this dogfight. So I kind of... but I don't get the angle right there. Friendly does come in and start damaging him, so I roll onto a different target. Don't want to get in the way of a friendly. So here's just me trying. See, I don't quite have the angle there, the friendly did. Now I'm engaging this other F5. Definitely wasn't a shortage of F5s in the area on this evening. Do end up in a nice situation here, but I am aware I don't have a huge amount of gun ammo left. Do pull off a nice hit there, get an engine fired, decent hit. Unfortunately he does not go down here. So trying to get there, he is bleeding off a lot of speed. I get another hit, take the top off his vertical stabilizer. It's just the view from his side. See there. Surprised how accurate that shot was. Missile streaming in front of us is always a bit concerning. We are getting really close to the enemy airfield. See, there's where I clip off the top of his stabilizer. Now, have overflown a little bit, overshot the target, trying to get eyes on him again. You can see there the Roland have just smacked someone out of the sky. My only advantage at this point, and the reason why I've not been shot down, is just there's so many planes up, the Rolands don't know who to pick. I'm doing here is trying to keep the fight near the airfield. The Su-25s are doing their job behind the lines. Trying to get around, get a few shots off, and then my guns are dry. So, unfortunately at that point, I'm completely Winchester, and so have no choice but to RCB. I do make it back, the server resets shortly after, so not an ace that time, unless you want to count the absolutely insane wing snapping of the plane that came through behind me. That F5 did manage to make it back to base safely. Good effort on him landing a very damaged F5. But still, even though I was one short of the ace, I had an absolute blast that time. I do enjoy Caucasus on this narrow map from time to time. It is a lot of fun. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope to catch you in the next video. Until then, remember to be kind to yourselves and everyone else. Cheers.